Welcome to the game show segment. I'm your host Aditya, and today's contestants are Meera and Christophe. Today's game is going to have 3 rounds, and each round is going to have different rules. And the player with the most number of points at the end of all the 3 rounds is going to win the game. So let's get started. Ready, Christophe and Meera?
Ready?
Yes.
Yep, so round 1 is what I call compete. So in this round, I'm going to show you a Twitter bio on screen. And based on the Twitter bio and number of followers, you're supposed to guess whose profile that is. And I've given you buzzers. So hit the buzzer if you think you know the answer. The person to hit the buzzer first is going to get a chance to answer the question. If you answer it incorrectly, the second person is going to get a chance to answer. So whoever answers the question correctly is going to get 10 points per profile.
Okay.
Let's now start the game. I'll use my Trailblazer community pen to take a note of your points. And the first bio on screen right now. What's happening with 58.8 million followers? Okay. So born on March 21st. Following only 29 profiles. Last 5 seconds to hit the buzzer.
I guess I need to spend more time on Twitter.
Yep, you need to. Because the answer is going to be different. Okay, last 2 seconds. I'm going to give you some time because this is the first question. You want to hit the buzzers. No answers for this. Okay, and time's up. The answer is actually quite simple and tricky as well. This Twitter profile belongs to Twitter itself. With 58.8 million followers, they are everywhere in all of your phones. So yeah, you need to spend more time on Twitter and look at Twitter's profile more often. So yeah, that's the first question. The next questions are not going to be as tricky. So moving on to the second profile. At Salesforce, at time, all tweets are my own. Christophe has buzzed first, Meera follows. So Christophe, whose profile do you think it is?
I'm gonna say that's Mark Benioff.
Perfect, that's the right answer. It is Mark Benioff, 1 million followers, Salesforce and time. Those should be sufficient to reveal who it is. And look at the growth of Salesforce on his cover picture. The growth is not even being sufficient in the picture, right? So yep, so that's Benioff. Moving on to the third profile. Free customizable App Exchange apps and components to get you started faster and built by Salesforce employees. So whose profile do you think it is? Again, it's Christophe followed by Meera. So Christophe, whose profile do you think it is?
I'm just gonna say it's the App Exchange profile.
Okay, it's very, very close, but no. Meera, what do you think it is?
Okay, I was also thinking App Exchange, but if not App Exchange, seeing the description is that Salesforce Labs.
Yep, Meera, you got it. It is Salesforce Labs. I mean, this was a tricky profile that I was talking to you about earlier. Salesforce Labs is one of the many companies on App Exchange that gives you free apps. I mean, it's where Salesforce employees host all the apps that they build. So download and use, all of them are free totally. So you don't have to worry about license costs. And that is Salesforce Labs. Moving on to the next profile.
Oh, Aditya, you need to reset the buzzer, I think.
Yeah, resetting the buzzers and moving on to the next profile. Sharing things I'm learning through my foundation work and other interests. I'm going to give you a hint. It's not a Salesforce thing. The Twitter doesn't belong to Salesforce. Okay, so Christophe has buzzed again.
I'm gonna say Bill Gates.
Perfect. So Christophe, you are actually spending a lot of time on Twitter in that case. It is actually Bill Gates. He does a lot of work through his foundation, 53.1 million followers. He's one of the top 20 profiles on Twitter. So that is one. I'm going to clear the buzzers now. And moving on to the next Twitter profile. Experience life in Uganda, India, Belgium. Okay. Meera is the first one to answer even without finishing the bio. So Meera, who do you think it is?
Yeah, the first sentence itself is very familiar. It's none other than Kavindra Patel.
Perfect. So it is Kavindra Patel, and he is the father of India Trailblazers with around 7,500 followers. So cool. So both of you have answered 2 questions each, giving you 20 and 20 points. It's a tie. You haven't answered the first question. So moving on to the final and the tie-breaking question. And I've cleared your buzzers. And whose profile is this? Christophe, you're the first one to buzz. Who do you think it is?
I think that's a tricky one, and I think that's you.
Yeah, that's me. It is my Twitter profile. And thank you for recognizing it so soon. And yeah, that wraps up the first round. So Christophe is leading with 30 points. And Meera is very closely following with 20 points. And that is the end of round 1. Now let's move on to round 2, which is what I call the challenge round. So there are no buzzers in this round, so you can close the buzzer tab. So in this round, I'm going to ask one of you a question, the answer to which is going to be a number. And the other person can either raise the stakes by increasing the number or call their bluff by challenging the contestant. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I ask Meera how many fruits can she name in 10 seconds. And Meera is going to say, let's say 7. Then I'm going to come to Christophe and ask, can you name more than 7 fruits, like 8 or 9 or 10? Or do you want to challenge Meera? Then maybe Christophe says he can name 8 fruits. Then I'm going to come back to Meera and ask if she can name more than 8 or challenge. So that process repeats until one participant wants to challenge the other. And once a participant challenges the other, so let's say Meera challenges Christophe to name all the 8 fruits. And if Christophe is able to successfully name all the 8 fruits, he wins the challenge and gets 20 points. If he's not able to answer all 8, he's going to lose the challenge and Meera is going to get 20 points. So that's how this round works. It's a little tricky to understand, but when you're playing, you'll get the hang of it. So the first question is to you, Meera. How many standard objects can you name in 10 seconds?
10.
Okay, so Christophe, can you name more than 10 or do you want to challenge Meera?
I'll challenge Meera.
Okay, so Meera, your time starts now. You're supposed to name at least 10 standard objects in 10 seconds.
Okay, so account, contact, lead, opportunity, case, contract, idea, Apex class, Apex page, approval process. Yeah, I think it's 10.
Okay, that is more than enough. And yes, you have answered all the 10 objects that you've committed to. And you have won this round. So you get 20 points and now you're leading. So I'm going to stop the timer. And the next question is I'm going to give the opportunity to Christophe. So Christophe, how many apps from the sample gallery can you name in 10 seconds?
8.
8, perfect. Okay, Meera, can you name more than 8 or do you want to challenge Christophe?
I would like to challenge Christophe.
Okay, so Christophe, you have been challenged and your time starts now.
Dream house, Lightning Web Components recipes, Lightning Web Components recipes open source, e-bikes, e-cars, Redwood's insurance, Easy Space, Visual Force to Lightning Web Components recipes.
Okay, you've taken slightly longer, but I'm still going to give it to you because you were able to name all 8, which most of us can't do. So yes, I think you win this challenge and I'm going to give you 20 points as well. And that puts you back in the lead. Well done. Finally moving to the third round. which is called lightning. And it's a rapid fire round where I'm going to ask each of you a bunch of questions and you have to answer as many questions as you can in 25 seconds. And each correct answer gives you 10 points. Okay, so I'm going to start with Christophe. And let me start my timer as well. You have 25 seconds on the clock. Let's see how many questions you are able to answer correctly. And I'm going to start the timer. So Christophe, your time starts now. True or false, two users can have the same profile?
True.
Okay. What is the governor limit for the total number of DML statements in a transaction?
I don't know. 100.
Okay. Expand JSON.
JavaScript object notation.
Okay. The number of mountains in the new Trailhead logo?
Wow. 3.
It's actually in the old logo, it is 3. In the new logo, it's just 2. Okay. So final question, I think. Community Cloud has been renamed to?
Experience Cloud.
Okay, perfect. So you have gotten 3 questions correct in close to 25 seconds. And let's see how many Meera is able to do. So Meera, your time starts now. True or false, two users can have the same role?
True.
Okay, so what's the governor limit for the total number of SOQL queries in synchronous transactions?
100.
Okay. Expand PWA.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Which animal is cloudy?
Cloudy is goat.
Yep. And Einstein Analytics has been renamed to?
Tableau CRM.
Okay, so that wraps up even your round. So even you have answered 4 questions correctly. So that gives you 40 points and Christophe has 30. Give me a second while I tally all of your points. So Christophe has done 30 plus 20 plus 30, which is 80. And Meera has done 20 plus 20 plus 40, which is again 80. Okay. So this is not scripted, by the way, all of you guys watching us today. This is actually a draw, which even I didn't anticipate. So congratulations, both of you. Both of you have won the first ever game show that we are conducting on Dev Talkies. And a huge round of applause. All of the audience, please clap as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aditya.
Yeah.
And congratulations, Meera.
Congratulations to you too.
So thank you. And that actually wraps up our game show segment.